Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Kenya Korea Talks. Today we're in Shoreditch, in central London, and we are in Young Nola. For those of you that do not know what Young Nola is, it is a restaurant in London that serves up food inspired by Louisiana Creole and West African dishes, and it is a backdrop for conversation, good times, and good vibes. And also, I'd like to mention that today I'm also here with Calabasa Palm Spirits. For those of you that do not know what this is Ogogoro. A Ghanaian and Nigerian brother came up with this, but we'll talk about this later. Let me give you a Bible verse today. Proverbs 13:22. A good parent leaves behind wealth for their children's children, but the money of the wicked is stored up for the righteous. Now, I'm sure you're wondering, why is Koroye talking about the Bible? Is he not an atheist? You would be very wrong there. What I don't believe in is giving your money to pulpit bandits. But before I digress, let's get into it. One of the most risky topics to bring up with Nigerian parents, African parents, I'm sure some of you, people of color from other parts of the world too, is talking about an inheritance. And I think that talking about an inheritance is such a dicey topic because most of our parents did not plan to leave anything behind. And this is not an insult or an attack to the older generation. It is a conversation that must be had. Number one, what does it mean to have children and leave something behind? Number two, how important is it for them to inherit something from you? And number three, is you that gets that inheritance. What are you doing with it? I believe that an inheritance is a necessity. If you cannot leave anything behind for your children, do not have them. I know some people are going to start to comment, no be everybody get money. It's not all of us are going to leave something behind. I didn't inherit anything and I'm fine. I hate to say that I feel bad for you because inheritance is too short for me. And some people watching this right now know what I mean. Now, what is an inheritance? In many parts of the world, it means different things. In Nigeria, it might mean land. In India, it might mean cash. In the US, it might mean a house. And in England, it might mean a business. For me, inheritance is not just money. Some people even inherit a good name. And as some of you know, the word Nepo baby was coined in this century because a lot of people's children were taking after them in certain fields like music, sports, and fashion, and a lot of you did not know who their parents originally were. So inheritance can also be likened to nepotism, depending on what field you are getting into and what you take from your parents. The reason I mention nepotism today is because I do not think nepotism is a terrible thing. It all depends on who is collecting what. But let's go back to inheritance real quick. It doesn't have to be money. It doesn't have to be car. It doesn't have to be land. But it must be something. What do your children take from you when you leave this world? And for some of you, while you are alive, because Nigerian parents, for example, think when you talk about a will, it means that they must die first before that will can be executed. There's wills that can be executed while the person is alive. There's things like trust funds. And as some of you know, if your parents have a business, they can bring you on as a director. To me, that is a form of inheritance also. The reason we're talking about this today is because I think people get upset when they see the children of well-to-do people enjoying a particular field or enjoying success or enjoying the perks of their parents planning for them. It reminds me of something I said on the comment section recently that got people upset. A young man said he had £120,000 in debt from going to university and he doesn't use the degree. And I said, all through university, bachelor's, master's, postgraduate, my fees were paid for in full. I owe no money to anyone. To me, that is a form of inheritance because some of you know how difficult it is to pay for school. You must take a loan. You must work. You must borrow. I don't think that's necessary. In our generation, us millennials and Gen Z, we can plan better. You have, give or take, 18 years from when your child is born to save money for them to go to school. Why not do it? That is a form of inheritance. Inheritance does not have to be a lump sum that you give to your children after you pass away. It doesn't have to be millions of dollars, but it has to make their life just a little bit easier. On a closing note, I think that we can all agree there is no award for suffering. And if you want to do Sufferhead Olympics, please go do that somewhere else. Over here, we're interested in the things that will move our children forward. If your parents made mistakes, that's fine. You can correct it in this era. For me, the Bible is right. The Quran is right. Almost every godly book talks about how important an inheritance is. This business that we're in, for example, I believe that one day, Iona and Micaiah will want to pass it down to his children, and they too will run it and be chefs and be mixologists and be hosts in a restaurant in central London. Just imagine that. You starting a business today, 18 years from now, passing it on to your kids. Thank you for watching another episode of Kanye Koroye Talks. Please subscribe, like, comment, share. And if you're watching this on Instagram, the link is in my bio to subscribe to my YouTube. And as always, comment below. I'm here to answer all your questions and respond to all your comments.